Always look at the bright side. Be focused. Stay focused. Hello you guys, and welcome to Laraddiji's LinPRinP. Thank you for clicking a show. I'm a Nigerian American lifestyle vlogger who loves living a peaceful life, and I love talking about situations we might find ourselves in that need peaceful endings. In this video, I'll be talking about a critical time of my life surrounding my 12th birthday, to be exact, that needs closure. I believe I've already closed that chapter of my life and I've moved on, obviously. But I just want someone to learn from my story, especially if you're going through something worse or similar. It's February's episode of the Makeup Must Keep Up Peace section of Laraddiji's LinPRinP. And in this section, I usually talk about little stories that can inspire you to live a peaceful life in this chaotic world under the umbrella of living a peaceful life. If you are about living a peaceful life, then this channel is for you. Join us and let us reason together. If you are already subscribed to Laraddiji's LinPRinP, then you are a very important part of this family and you are very humbly welcome back. If you're new here and would love to join us LinPRinPers, then do subscribe by hovering over the heart in the right lower corner and click the subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell so that you get all notifications automatically for videos I put up. Do check out the other sections of Laraddiji as you're inspired to do so after watching this video. So back to today's topic, the sequel of being called a witch. Unforgiveness slows you down. Remember when I was 12 years old vividly? I really do, because this was the second birthday I had ever celebrated in my entire life. We took pictures, there was cake, and more importantly, the celebration happened in the absence of my parents because they were abroad in New York then, and they were able to send some materials for the celebration. It was nice. My cousins and my closest friends were there to celebrate with my brother and myself. He had just turned 10. So this birthday was a big deal. To me, this was the last birthday I will celebrate before graduating into my teenage years, and this can be a huge deal for anybody, especially for girls, because guess what will be happening in a few months to a year? Yep, the time of the month. The time you'll become a woman. The time Lara was going to become a woman was getting closer. Now that I've painted this picture for you, you'll be able to understand the gravity of the next series of events and how they have somewhat shaped me into the Lara you are hearing from today. Remember the last story I told you about how I was called a witch? Well, I don't know if the proprietress of my school was told of the situation at home or how she came about calling me a witch as well. Girl, let me cut the story short. I had to leave the school, okay, at the end of this whole story. Is that what they call being expelled? Well, I'll say I was expelled. I had to go to another school at the end of this story. So now, let me tell you the middle. The school I was attending was a private school. Not a lot of kids can afford private school fees. However, because my parents were working very hard in the States, we were fortunate. We, meaning my younger brother and I. I finished my elementary education and proceeded to the high school I'm talking about. In my class, there were, I believe, 8 students. I can't believe exactly. And we started the first grade of high school together, which is equivalent to 7th grade here in the States. Usually the class would increase in number as the years went on. But I noticed all the other classes were, but our class had the lowest number of students. And then we had these identical twin boys join our classroom, and we were all very excited. I think from 6 we went to 8. So on this fateful day, I can remember the context in which my classmates and I were discussing, and I made a statement not knowing the proprietress was making her way to our class already. I said, how come we don't have more students join our class anymore? Or are you boys blocking the way to our class? I was referring to the twins because they were the last ones to join us. The proprietress called me into her office afterwards and twisted my words, saying I said I was the one blocking the way to my class because of my witchery powers. My LinPRinPers, I was stunned. That didn't even pay me. Back to my birthday celebration. One of my seniors then, who had taken me under her wing, she was referred to as my senior mother. So basically, she'll take care of me in school. She'll pray for me. We'll pray together. Sometimes she'll walk me home just to make sure I was safe. 12 years old. Sometimes we'll have to walk like 30 minutes to an hour to get home. So she wanted to make sure I was safe. She had given me a book as a present for my 12th birthday. I can't remember the title of this book, unfortunately, now, but the story of this book still surprises me till today. The proprietress decided that she will seize that book, and up until today, that book never came back to me. I was stunned again. What's the correlation? What's the discipline? What's the punishment? But wait, what is the offense? What's the repercussion of the actions that were taken all these years ago? And on top of that, I had to leave the school. I was expelled. For what? But anyway, thank God for the memory he's giving me over this situation, because others will remember every detail of this issue, of this situation. And I'm sure if I were placed under a psychiatric evaluation, they would dig a lot of repressed memories, repressed feelings, repressed anger, and many more. I tell you this today because we all have gone through some painful memories, okay? Not everyone has life good 100% of the time. I don't think I've seen someone that's happy from the time they were born until they die. Even the rich have problems. Even the wealthy have issues. Even the pretty people or the handsome people or the cool people all have situations they're dealing with. You might think my story is a simple one and I should have gotten over it by now. I surely have. However, at the time, to a 12-year-old, that was my life. That was my everything. I was cut off from my friends for no reason. I felt worthless at the time of my life. I always say, if you dissect a Nigerian or an African or people who have gone through a difficult time of their lives and they themselves came out of it and they are successful today, or are at least thriving, man, you will uncover a lot of repressed emotions, because sometimes to survive, you just have to think of everything else but yourself. So my dear, if you are faced with problems now, depending on what it is, right? Forget yourself. Always look at the bright side. Be focused. Stay focused. When you've made it, then you can afford to take care of yourself better. Imagine if you were focused on yourself then. Then your problems will dig you into a bigger and deeper hole. I gained new friends eventually, I don't think I was even depressed over the issue. I think it was later on when I started evaluating my life and where my life went, was when I realized, wow, somebody did me dirty. I went back to school. The school I had actually attended for my primary school, I ended up going back then because they upgraded themselves and they built up a high school. So I went back to, I will say the name of that school. I went back to Shackled International High School then. I had attended Shackled Primary School, but because they didn't have a high school then, I had to, look for another high school. I will not dignify that school now. But then, because I've forgiven them, I'll tell you the name. Distinct Medical College. So I went to Distinct Medical College for less than a year before I was quote unquote expelled. So I went back to Shackled International High School where I made many more friends, people I still talk to today, awesome people. I did forgive, my proprietress. I hear she's in Georgia now. I learned with all our family. And I think I still remember, I think I texted one of our sons on Facebook. I was like, please, if they still have my book, can I please have my book for where? I'm sure they would have burnt it by now. Too many years ago. But I've forgiven her, just have to move on with your life. I imagine sometimes if my life would be different if I had stayed in a school. And of course, the course of my life would have been different. And who knows, maybe you won't be listening to me today. But in everything, I still give thanks. I love my life, I love my family, and I love my journey to where I am today. Unforgiveness will only slow you down while the other person is living their lives to the fullest. So please don't waste the precious time God has given you. Question for this episode: it's not everyone that offends you can have a conversation with at times due to distance or relationships or circumstances, surrounding them. So my question is, can you forgive someone without their knowledge, without letting them know? I say this because even Jesus said, forgive them for they know not what they do. He didn't call, I don't think he called every single Pharisee, did he? That did him wrong. But then he's God. Let's hear your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching this episode. God willing, we are on this earth for an average of 75 to 80 years. Let's not waste any of that precious time on matters that don't help us positively in some way. You have a decision to make. If not now, maybe later. The ball of closure is in your court. Ask questions if you have any. Don't hesitate to leave a comment as well. You can like this video by giving it a thumbs up so that I can make more of them. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Laraddiji. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the many more sizzling topics to come by hovering over the red hearts on the right lower corner and click the subscribe button. It's free. Make sure your notification bell is activated to be automatically notified of new uploads from me. Please, let's love our neighbors as ourselves, and remember to rest in peace. We all need to be living in peace. Stay blessed. Bye-bye. You see me in my next one. You see me in my next one. See me in my next one. You see me in my next one. Toodles.